Thank you all for coming, but I want to particularly thank our Mayor Muriel Bowser. I want to thank our yeah, why not? She's a busy mayor, but she knows what's important to our residents, and I very much appreciate her presence here because we're talking about something that lots of residents still don't know about. I very much appreciate a woman we've worked with through the years on our tax fairs, Eva, the director of the Office of Tax and Revenue Customer Service Administration, Eva Liggins. You'll hear from her soon. Teresa Hines of Community Tax Aid. That's the lady who's going to tell you about our free sites. And Amy Melrose, a DC resident. I thank all of them for coming to help us ensure that low and moderate income residents know they do not have to pay, despite all of the advertisements on TV. They do not have to pay to have their tax forms prepared and without representation on the House floor to boot, when they can get their taxes prepared by IRS, and I really emphasize that, IRS certified tax experts, free of charge in their own neighborhoods. So many don't know what we mean. That's why we have the information on where these sites are that we are distributing, and it's going to be on our sites. Now, almost at least 2 decades, our office, first with IRS employees themselves, because we are the home district for the IRS, they came to prepare the tax returns of our residents. Then Congress cut them to death, but we were concerned that people still would not know that they could have their taxes prepared. So we continued on with our citywide fair, tax fair, whose basic purpose was not only to prepare your taxes, but to popularize the neighborhood tax sites. And so our VITA neighborhood groups came and did it. And you see, they then carried the word back to these sites, which volunteers at various hours take for our residents. But now they have faced the same kinds of problems that the IRS itself faces. Now, it's very interesting to see that you have here along the walls here, you have some of the people who were always present at our tax fair, because taxes are about finances. So I very much appreciate that despite the fact that the federal government does not have enough revenue even to collect the taxes that could reduce their deficit, and certainly to help us put on the tax fair, that we do have the DC Employees Federal Credit Union here, Capital Asset Builders here, the Office of the State Superintendent of Education, DC TAG, the DC Department of Insurance, Securities, and Banking, and the Wealth Factory Financial Consultants, My Free Taxes also. All of those people were at our tax fairs to help people learn about financial to learn how about not simply their taxes, but how to, in fact, handle their finances. So I appreciate you being here at the library, which is the largest of the VITA sites in the city. Residents have depended on our tax fair, and so we feared that, my Lord, if we don't have the tax fair, someone wondered, where are we to go? This was always the green light that the tax season had begun, because our citywide tax fair, where we prepared the taxes, alerted them to these other sites. They do the same preparation, but not in a one-day tax fair, but throughout the tax season until April 15th. What we are doing here is sending a special alert to low and moderate income DC residents. But hear this figure. You can earn up to $54,000 last year. We are alerting them that they should not pay for what they can get for free in their own neighborhoods where they live. This is, of course, the largest of the so-called VITA sites. And it is open every day of the week, usually about 4 hours, sometimes more, to prepare taxes except for Friday. But there are VITA sites across the cities, at least one in every ward. Look, here's a figure you don't know. DC residents already pay the highest taxes per capita in the United States. Now, when you pay that, and then you have to pay those taxes anyway, without a vote in Congress in return, they are adding insult to injury. So we feel a special obligation to help our low and moderate income residents find their way to our free tax preparation sites that we're so fortunate to have that are still standing, notwithstanding the IRS and its problems. So here, briefly, is what you need to know. For 5 years now, the IRS budget has been slashed almost 20%. This means that if you call the IRS on the phone, we now have the figures, more than half the time you'll never get them. The rest of the time is if you are willing to wait for half your life, maybe someone will come to the phone. So we've got an IRS where you can't come into an IRS office. You can't call them on the phone, and yet you're expected to pay your federal income taxes and your DC taxes. So our VITA sites have become not only the first, but the last resort for our residents. And what is really important to know is that you get your full refund without being charged to get your refund. So we ask our residents to beware of commercials, for example. They claim that they will fill out your income taxes free of charge, but then, for example, charge a fee for preparing your state tax returns. Look, if you're in business, you're not in business for free. We don't object to their being in business, and particularly during this time of the year. But that's not false advertising. That's leaving out a very important point. Nothing like that at your VITA sites. All volunteers, all experts, all there as a service to the community. So another important point to make is, suppose you earn so little that you don't really owe any income taxes, so you don't want to be bothered. We ask all of our residents to go to a VITA site because, as you will hear more from Ms. Melrose, because she'll be talking about perhaps the most significant of the tax credits that a person may qualify for, even if they earn too little. I should say perhaps particularly if they earn too little to file income tax forms. And the earned income tax credit, for example, gives you not only gives you a tax break, gives you something better. It gives you money in return. And the district, you will hear, also has, I'm very grateful, its own local EITC, or earned income tax credit. But there are other federal tax credits that residents may qualify for: American Opportunity Tax Credit, the Lifetime Learning Tax Credit, the Child Independent Care Tax Credit, the Saves Tax Credit, all designed to benefit low and moderate income earners. So it's worth going to a VITA site simply to find out what you may qualify for. We ask residents to beware of what we understand is the greatest number of tax scammers the country has ever seen. A member of my staff got a call from one of these scammers. They sound very authentic. They pretend to be from the IRS, and they demand taxes, unpaid taxes, whatever it is, they demand some money. In 2013, nearly 1 million fake calls such fake calls were placed, and they robbed 5,000 victims of almost $30 million. So they know what they're doing. We've got to know how to defend against them. We will be waging our own campaign to help residents get honest expert help throughout the tax season until April 15th. The full list of VITA sites in the city, along with their hours, is on my website, and one has to watch out. These are not 9-to-5 sites. These are volunteers, so they're sites that have to conform to when people are available to do the taxes. We have also posted a tool from the IRS website that allows people to type in their zip code and locate the VITA site, free preparation site, closest to them. My office will also be available throughout the tax season to be helpful to all DC residents, even if they are not low and moderate income earners. I'm going to, the mayor is here for a reason. What we're trying to do is to save money for district residents, and I very much appreciate and ask Mayor Muriel Bowser if she will come forward to say a few words to you now.
Well, good morning, everybody, and I'm so happy to see you all here to talk about a very important topic, and I'm very grateful to the Congresswoman for her leadership in this area that affects everybody living and working in Washington, D.C. So let's give the Congresswoman a big round of applause. I'm always happy to be in our Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Library, and I want to thank all of our library staff. Let's hear it for DCPL staff. Yay, staff. And I also want to acknowledge their leader, Richard Reyes-Gavilan, who has done a remarkable job in coming from New York City to the best city in the world to run our library system. And Congresswoman, you will know that we will transform this library very shortly, and will shift out of this building. It will have a wonderful new makeover and become the central library that will be the envy of the world. And so we look forward to talking to everybody about it. It is apropos that we are here because not only will this library have books and computers in labs that will help people create, in maker spaces that will help people create, we recognize that we come here for all aspects of our life. And like it or not, taxes are one aspect of our life. And we should, and I always say this, I'm proud that I'm able to pay my taxes. It's a blessing that I get to go to work every day and earn a good, honest living and pay my fair share towards what it takes to run our city and run our nation. But I want to pay my fair share, not one penny more. And that is why it's so important to have people who know what they're doing to help us prepare our taxes. And too many people, and we know this from neighborhoods all over our city and all over our country, that it's the people that have the least sometimes that pay the most. It's a premium that people pay when they don't have enough, they don't have a lot of money. And people pray and take advantage. And that's why having these important centers across the city with volunteers who know what they're doing is so important. We also know that sometimes people don't leave enough time. And when you're rushing at the end, you really pay a premium. That's why here we are a couple of months from tax day to talk about getting ready and getting your finances, your paperwork, your schedule in order so that you can make the best decisions for yourself and your family. Now, while we don't have a vote in the House or have any senators, we pay, as the Congresswoman noted, more than many states. $1.9 billion is collected in district taxes each and every year. Those taxes allow the federal government to do its work, but we also collect from our end, and you're going to hear from the Office of Tax and Revenue about that. The taxes allow us to make critical investments in our schools, help make our neighborhoods safer, giving our first responders what they need, and funding the things that DC residents need each and every day. I frequently make a distinction between what the local government does, us, and what the federal government does at this time of year when it snows, because the federal government will at times, all the time, they close down. And I tell the folks that work for us, we can't close down because of snow, because people rely on us for day-to-day living, and that's why our government exists. So I want to thank all the taxpayers for doing their fair share, and I want to call out with the Congresswoman the free resources that are available for everybody. Last year, and actually I think this is going to be the first full tax season, Congresswoman, we made the district's tax code more progressive. So people earning in below this $54,000 mark are actually now in a different tax bracket than they have been in previous years, which is going to allow families to save money. And it is so important also to call out this fact, because frequently not only will people charge you to prepare your taxes, they will charge you to get your own money. They will tell you, we can get your money faster. And, we're basically going to advance you your own money and charge you an incredible interest rate to get to your own money. So this is why preparation is so important. The experts here will tell you how fast it is when you file electronically to get to your own money without paying extra for it. So I am very thankful to all of you who are here, all of the volunteers and organizations. Where are volunteers and organizations who are going to help out? Give them a big round of applause. We can't do it without you. And also spread the word. So we're going to link to the Congresswoman's website, get it out on all of our social media. We know that you're going to go out to neighborhoods across the city and make sure people are taking advantage of their earned income tax credit, making sure people are taking care of all the credits that will allow them to really invest and take care of their children, and making sure people are not paying to get their own money, because they probably won't get it any faster, but also putting some expert eyes on all that paperwork and starting now, not on April 15th, even though you're going to get an extra weekend. Start now. Thank you, Congresswoman.
Thank you very much, Mayor Bowser, and thank you for the way in which you have made this a matter of citywide concern, and the many city offices or city-funded offices where there are VITA sites. I'd like to next ask Eva Ligon to speak. Eva and the District Office of Tax and Revenue, of which she is the Director of Customer Service, have been our partners throughout the years when we've done the tax fair. And they have been incredibly reliant and persistent in the help they give us. Remember, when you have to pay taxes, you got to pay federal and DC taxes. And Mayor Bowser, I think something people don't know, because they used to hear years ago about how high DC taxes were. If you put the taxes of the region together, various parts of the region, and DC taxes are no higher than taxes otherwhere. And the reason the mayor says, say lower, Eleanor, that's what they are. Get it straight, are lower. And people don't think about that. You should be particularly appreciative, therefore, to Eva Liggins, who will explain how the D.C. office can help and helps every day in tax collection.
Good morning, and thank you, Congresswoman Norton, and good morning, Mayor Bowser. Thank you all for allowing me to come today to talk a little bit about the role that the D.C. Office of Tax and Revenue plays in assisting you in meeting your tax obligations. I'm going to talk a little bit about the programs that we already have existing, and I'm going to share what's new for the tax filing season. But to echo what Congresswoman Norton has said, there are a lot of tax preparers out there who are very good, and we certainly don't want to take business from anyone. However, on the other hand, there are a lot of free sites, and Teresa certainly will talk about those, that people can go to visit. But the D.C. Office of Tax and Revenue is one of those sites that you can actually come and get your D.C. taxes, let me emphasize, D.C. taxes done for free. Now, what are we doing that we've always done? The electronic filing is one thing. So as the season begins, we want to remind you to use DC Free File to prepare your tax return. You can visit OTR's website at otrcfo.dc.gov to view e-file options such as Free File. And that's a unique free service which allows taxpayers to choose from a number of free tax prep software that works best for your tax situation. We also have fillable forms. So this free online version of Form D40 and D40EZ and schedules allow taxpayers to fill in their tax information, sign electronically, and e-file their return. You can also come see us for those who have standalone Schedule H's, and this particularly affects our senior citizens and some of our low to moderate income taxpayers. Those standalone Schedule H's can also be done in our office, and we certainly encourage people to come visit us. DC Earned Income Tax Credit. Qualifying taxpayers can add extra dollars to their pockets by taking advantage of the DC Earned Income Tax Credit. District taxpayers who are allowed the Earned Income Tax Credit and filed their federal individual income tax return and did not claim the district low income tax credit are allowed a DC EITC equal to 40% of the amount allowed by the Internal Revenue Service. Qualifying taxpayers could receive a credit up to $2,497. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to leave any money on the table if I'm eligible to receive it. So as Congresswoman Norton said, visit some of these sites, even if you think you may not be eligible, because you never know. There may be some taxes that you may be eligible for. And we want those dollars to be spent where? Here in the district. That's more money for us to spend in the district. Am I right, Mayor Bowser? That's absolutely right. So what's new for us this year? This year, we have added Saturdays for income tax filing season only. We've added Saturdays to our schedule. The extended Saturday hours, we've already had 2 Saturdays, and we have some remaining Saturdays. So during the season, we are located at our walk-in center at 1101 4th Street Southwest, Suite W270. Very easy to get to. We're right off the waterfront metro station on the Green Line. And we will be open from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. During this time, taxpayers can get assistance preparing their DC individual tax income tax and resolving a personal tax matter. So if you have an issue that has not been resolved, feel free to visit us on Saturdays. For the remaining Saturdays, we're open February the 20th, March 5th, 12th, 19th, and 26th, and Saturday, April 2nd and April 9th. Again, those are Saturday hours from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Now, what is the filing deadline this season? Normally it's April 15th, but this year April 15th is Emancipation Proclamation Day here in the district, and so taxes are due this year on April the 18th. Please remember, don't wait until the 19th. You must have them filed by the 18th. And I would encourage you to file early. Do you want to know why? The crooks are already out there. The fraudsters are already out there. We're already seeing false returns coming into the system. So you want to get out there ahead of them because they may already have your information. To get out there, they get the refund, you come behind and file your true return. It makes it a lot more difficult now because it's a long process you have to go through to tell us you are who you say you are. So please file as soon as you possibly can. Direct deposit. This is new for us this year. In order to combat identity theft fraud, all new direct deposit requests, and that's taxpayers requesting a direct deposit for the first time, will receive a paper check. That may seem a bit onerous, but at the same time, we're protecting you and protecting us, because that's another way the fraudsters get money, and that is they do direct deposit, particularly for those green dot cards. The pension exclusion has been repealed. The up to $3,000 exclusion from federal adjusted gross income of military, DC, or federal retirement payments of retirees 62 years or older has been repealed. I got a call the other day about that, and I did direct them to their council member. Taxpayers requesting assistance may visit our walk-in center. I'm going to give you the address again, at 1101 4th Street Southwest, Suite W270. During our regular business hours, Monday through Friday, we are open from 8:15 to 5:30. Our phone call center is also open from 8:15 to 5:30. That number is 202-727-4TAX or 4829. That's 202-727-4829. Thank you again for allowing us to come and talk to you about the obligations that we have to help you file your income taxes.
Oh, thank you, Ms. Liggins, for those very valuable tips, especially about changes I didn't know about. Look, it's time to stop talking about Vita sites and hear from Teresa Hines, who is one of the most extraordinary tax experts you will find anywhere in the country, and is speaking to us on behalf of TaxAid and the Vita sites. Teresa Hines.
Hi, I wanted to thank the Congresswoman and the Mayor for hosting this press conference, re-emphasizing the fact that we want to make sure people know about the services that are available, know that the credits are available. But I also need to thank the city for the tremendous support they provide, and especially, again, to the library system. This branch has hosted the Vita site in the basement for over 25 years. They generously give us 2 entire rooms to use for the entirety of tax season so that we can serve over 2,000 residents. And then the neighborhood branches are also involved. They host the ARP TaxAid sites, bringing the service out into the community. And then additionally, the city does provide some financial support both to make the sites operate, but also importantly to do the outreach so that people know about the sites, they know about the tax credits, they know about the opportunities they have. And most importantly, they're educated consumers, because as volunteers, we can't serve everybody, and we know some people are going to go seek paid services, and so it's important that we fund that work to have educated consumers. And as the Congresswoman said, I've been asked to speak about the Volunteer Return Preparation Program. And so people are aware of it in 2 forms. The VITA program, which is the sites I host, which serve low and moderate income taxpayers under $54,000. But there's also the ARP TaxAid program that's primarily focused on senior citizens. And before I speak specifically about the VITA services, I want to speak a little bit more about why it's important. The mayor and the Congresswoman have touched on some of it, but just the critical importance of reaching out and letting people know about tax credits. And I have to call out our partner at Capital Area Asset Builders, CAB, because they're out in the community in several languages, making sure people not only know about tax credits, know about free services, but know about links to financial education programs. All of the folks who are with us here today who round out financial education and financial wellness for our citizens. Tax preparation is part of that, but so is financial education, knowing about the DC TAG program, et cetera. And one of the important things the Congresswoman talked about bringing the federal dollars from the earned income tax credit back to the city. Last year, over 54,000 low and moderate income DC residents received this credit. That brought $126 million back into our local economy. And as we've heard, the good news doesn't end there. CAB and Community Tax Aid really want to thank the city for having the most robust local version of the credit. This added another $25 million to the local economy last year. And so we want to make sure that people are able to keep that money, because what we hear from the clients that come to our tax sites is that they're using their refund dollars to catch up on bills and to move forward economically. They're paying for education, maybe they're buying a modest car so they can get to a job that has unusual hours or is far from home in public transportation, and they're spending their dollars locally, creating a multiplier effect in the economy. And the Congressman, and we've heard mention that most tax preparers are scrupulous, they're doing a good job, people are paying for an accurate service, but we know that's not always the case. We've heard cases where families have charged as much as $900 to have their tax return prepared, and even the average of $240 is too high for some low-income families, and we want to make sure they get the full benefit of their refund. And as the Congressman mentioned, at the VITA sites, everything is free. Your preparation is free. We do federal and state tax filing, electronic filing, and direct deposit, all at no cost. And unlike pay preparers who are not regulated, the VITA and the ARP volunteers have to pass certification tests every year, and we are monitored by the IRS, who comes out and checks the quality of our work at our sites, and they actually do shut down programs who don't meet the quality standards. But as a result, the VITA and ARP sites have a 94% accuracy rate. And we're out here to make sure you get the biggest refund you're eligible for, and only the refund you're eligible for. We don't have any incentive to do any kind of shenanigans on your tax return to get you a bigger refund, which you'll probably end up having to pay back later. Also, most VITA and ARP sites are linking you with other services. If you want to buy a savings bond, you want to invest in your future with the new MyRA program, they'll help you do that. So some bullet points. I know people sometimes think free is not good, but everything is at no cost. And again, the volunteers are trained and certified, which is more requirements than unregulated preparers. Everything is free. There's no fine print, no unexpected charges. You get your refund back for free with no extra charges. And again, our primary motivation is the taxpayer, making sure they're able to comply with the tax system, have an accurate tax return. If you haven't gone through it, you may not be aware, but having your taxes filed is so important for every aspect of your life, with credit checks for housing, for jobs. Being caught up on your taxes is a fundamental part of economic security. And I want to thank the Congresswoman for her ongoing support of making sure free tax preparation knowledge is available to the DC residents, and for the mayor and the city for really elevating and supporting this important step for economic security.
Well, Teresa Hines, you have been a city treasurer for a long time, and we greatly appreciate what you do for our low and moderate income residents. And notice I said moderate, because you can have no income, you can have low income, up to $54,000. And Teresa talked about, there's no shenanigans. What's the shenanigan? You are a volunteer, and you've recognized the importance of tax preparation for low and moderate income folks, that you have volunteered your services to the city through our VITA site. That is an incredible public service, to share your knowledge in that way. Now, the next person I want to introduce is a person who has used the Earned Income Tax Credit. Now, people have a vague sense of the Earned Income Tax Credit. They know that, for example, a single mother may qualify for it, and the more children she has, the more she may qualify for it. Some of us in the Congress struggled also to get a tax credit for single people. In many ways, they are the most needy. They are people without a high school education, with a high school education, or just getting out of college. They don't have much earned income. So we struggled until finally the Congress a few years ago made it possible for a single person to, in fact, get the earned income tax credit. So we thought we'd bring a single person you might not think about, particularly when you consider who is emblematic of the kinds of person who gets the earned income tax credit today, but who you might not think about. Well, there are many, many college students here, many young people coming back home, and of course, there are many people who have low-cost, low-earnings in jobs because they have a high school education or not even that. So we thought that Amy Melrose would help us make the point to young people because she is perhaps not what you expect when you talk about a earned income tax credit, because she is a struggling entrepreneur who started her own blog. It's called a Best Arts blog, and she's grown it into full-time work. Well, while you're doing that, how are you going to live if you're paying what little you have out in federal income taxes? So I'm going to ask Amy Melrose to come and tell us in her own words what the earned income tax credit has meant for her.
Hi, thank you all so much for coming out this morning. And I'm going to share a little bit about my story of how I found out about this and how the services have supported me over the years. So, what a lovely introduction. Thank you. As Congresswoman Norton mentioned, my name is Amy Melrose. I am a happily single entrepreneurial spirit who loves the city. I run a website about free things to do. It's called Free in DC. It was voted Best Arts Blog 2015 by Washington City Paper readers. Thank you. And as you can imagine, being a blogger, relying on donations and some partnerships doesn't exactly bring you in a high income. I'll share a little bit more about some other things I'm up to, but let me just say that I found out about this program that I could find out, that I, as a DC resident, I found out many years ago, I think it was probably while riding a city bus on a banner, that I was eligible to get my taxes done for free. And I didn't grow up with a lot of money, so the word free has always been like a little buzz, like, ooh. I've always had like a little filter for that. So when I found out that I could have my taxes done for free, it wasn't just a relief for me because of the fact that it was free. It was a relief for me because I'm a super creative person, and I have a very abstract mind, and I love to think in big pictures and in patterns and in expansive ideas. So when I stare at a form with like boxes and lines and a ton of tiny font text, like all squished together on a page, my brain is like, eh. So I honestly just get a little overwhelmed when I'm looking at these forms. Now, if somebody's walking me through line by line and explaining what each line means, I'm really good at understanding it. I just don't particularly care for going and doing it myself. So I actually got my degree in psychology here at GW, which brought me to DC. And at the time after I graduated, I was working a bunch of different part-time jobs in theater and at a bookstore and doing all sorts of things I loved. And so I didn't want to file my own taxes because I wasn't exactly sure how that would work. So I remember walking through these doors right here at MLK Library, going down the stairs, and finding the very large 2 rooms with people who were there volunteering to help people like me fill out my taxes for free. And I did that for quite a while, and I have to say that I started when I was just out of school, probably, and for all of these years, they've helped me when I was working part-time jobs. When I was unemployed, they helped me for part of the year. When I had a full-time job and was making way less than $54,000 a year, they helped me, because Lord knows, like, a lot of young people in this town make way less than that when they have their first job. And I was doing business development and marketing, and that doesn't pay that much. And so then I actually decided to start my own business when I was going through that, and they still continue to assist me. So I guess what I'm saying is, for whatever stage you are in your life, there's they're there to help you. As long as your income is under $54,000, they're gonna work with you. So what people don't realize, I think, is that it's not just for people who are traditionally what you might think of as poor. The services are available for young people, and a lot of people I know even my age make way less than $54,000. There's a lot of people doing work for nonprofits or who are recent graduates or just work in retail or coffee shops, you never know. So a lot of people would qualify, and I think that's the purpose of me coming here, is to just say it's for a wider audience than you might assume. So one of the things that I was excited about is when the Vita sites opened, and I found out that there was one 2 blocks away from my house. And so I am telling you how awesome that was. And they're really great. So I live in Ward 1, and I go to Jubilee Jobs, and they are really patient with me. They answer my questions. They walk me through, and they also have the trained supervisors who come and they examine all the work to make sure you're getting all of the money back that you're qualified for, make sure everything's done correctly. And what I was really excited about is that in certain years that I didn't know, I qualified for this credit where if you're renting an apartment and you make a certain amount of money, DC has a formula that you can actually get a big chunk of money back. And I had no idea that law that was even something that existed. And so I've qualified for the earned income tax credit, which when I went in, I just assumed you had to be a single mom with lots of kids to get, which is totally not the case. You can be a single person with no kids and qualify, as was mentioned. And so I was really happy about that. I also love that they have evening hours and Saturday hours. So if you're working a non-traditional job, you can go in and say Monday through Thursday from 6 till 8, Saturday from 9 to 4 by appointment. And Jubilee Jobs is so cute. They sent me a postcard to remind me, saying, hey, come visit us. Let us do your taxes for free. And here are our hours. And here's what you need to bring. And here's the number to call for an appointment. So not only do they do them for free, but they actually remind you and do this beautiful outreach. And I was planning to go there anyway. I still have to call to set my appointment. So one other quick mention, I know I've probably gone over time, is that when I was at the Jubilee Jobs waiting to be seen as a walk-in one year, there was a young woman going around the office, and she was educating people about other programs that existed in the city that offer free financial services. And that's actually where I learned about CAB, Capital Area Asset Builders, who I've worked with since that time. They provide amazing services. They'll go and get your credit reports. They'll help you look at them and understand them and give you advice on how to resolve any issues you might have for free. They also provide a wonderful Money Management 101 program, which I participated in. I believe it was 5 weeks when I did it. And they also have a Saturday option or an evening option. They then helped me to enroll for an IDA match fund program where I saved $1,000 and got $3,000 in credit to create so that I could get myself a certification in a certain educational program where I was certified as a life coach. So I'm launching that now too. So there's all these wonderful programs that are available. And had I not just followed my instincts and come for the free tax prep, I wouldn't have learned maybe even about CAB. So I'm really, really, really grateful. And I just have to say, it's an honor for me to be able to repay a little bit by coming here today to say how wonderful and appreciative that I am that people who love doing forms and numbers and providing financial services are available to support people, not just people who don't have a lot of money, but people who just aren't naturally inclined toward numbers and forms, and they sit there and they talk with you, and you get a human experience face to face. And it's just, you can do them online on TurboTax for free maybe, and I've done that once before, but it's not nearly as nice. So I just encourage you all to take advantage of all these amazing free opportunities. As you guys have heard, I'm somebody who loves free things to do. You can find a ton of free arts, culture, and consciousness events actually on Free in DC if you want to check it out. And I'll happily give a shout out over Twitter for this, of course. And it's an events site, so it's a little bit different. But I'm just really, really grateful, and I'm honored to have been invited to represent DC residents. And thank you, CAB, thank you, Joseph Lightman Cruz, and thank you, Congresswoman Norton. Thank you, Mayor Bowser. I'm just so honored to be on this panel here, or on the stage, and thank you for your time to hear me out. And I hope lots and lots of new people will show up at the site to take advantage of this amazing free resources in an amazing city that has so many fabulous free things going on. Yay.
I have to tell you, Amy Melrose, you are a walking advertisement for the Vita sites. Mayor, I think if we had just sat here and just let her go forward, we wouldn't have needed anything else. But I always say when you hear from real people, you really heard the whole story. I can't thank the mayor enough for being here and emphasizing the importance of this program to what amounts to hundreds of thousands of people in the District of Columbia who need to know about our Vita sites. Our guests who have spoken to you are real experts in various areas, and I'm asking you to go help us spread the word. Don't pay for what's free, and we're going to have this even after we get statehood and the right to vote. You're not going to pay in order to pay. Thank you for coming.